If you guys haven't noticed, we finally hit 1K. Now, I was planning on having the special, 1K special, being the Halloween special as well, because it would just be really weird having two specials in one month. But, so the Halloween special will be my 1K special. But anyways, everyone, I want to thank you all so much for staying with this journey with me. I can't thank you enough. I wish I could all give you a hug right now, but I can't. But here's all a hug. Mwah. Chapter 71. Warning, slight gore. As soon as he let out a blood-curdling scream, Tanjiro froze in his spot. He soon snapped out of it and quickly got out of your room, but you sat there on your bed. Shivering in fear, you didn't dare take a step or look in your thoughts. What was that man doing in my house? What did he steal? What if he was been going in here for a long time? The last thought left shivers down your spine as you remembered you heard noise out inside your house in the past. Your thoughts were cut off by an aggressive banging on the door. Your hands trembled as you slowly reached for your lamp to defend yourself. It wasn't much, but you promised yourself you'll beat his head with it. Yin, a familiar voice shouted. It was Sanemi, you mumbled. Yin, God damn it, open the door, he shouted as the banging on the door became louder and louder. Before you could even reply, you heard the door crash on the floor as Sanmi had broken in. Yin, Sanmi shouted in your living room. I'm here. You managed to speak out. Sanmi heard your voice and quickly barged into your room. You let out a sigh of relief as you saw a familiar face. As soon as Sanmi came into your room, you noticed his haggard facial expression, but as soon as his eyes laid upon you, his facial expression turned soft. Before you knew it, you felt hot tears run down your cheek. Sanmi, you stuttered. He slowly walked towards you. As he was on your bed, you hugging him tightly and crying on his chest. He didn't say a word and only embraced you back. His warmth felt comforting, even if his intentions weren't well. Warm and comforting. Time skip. Are you comfortable? Sanmi asked. You nodded as you laid your head on Sanmi and Genya's bunk bed. You were at the bottom, which was Genya's bed. Do you need anything? He asks. You shook your head. You can stay here as long as you like, Yin. All right? He spoke out. You sniffed. Thank you, you mumbled. You could even stay by my side forever, Sanmi thought. He stared at you before the police had called out his name. It had been 2 hours since it happened, and Sanmi had called the police. Your eyes were puffy from crying, and your nose was red from all the snot. Genya soon slowly opened the door. Yin, he spoke out as he walked towards you. You should get some rest. I'll sleep on the couch while Aniki, sleeps on the floor with a futon. Genya told you. The police will catch the bastard, Yin. He reassured you. You nodded your head as he was about to leave, but then you stopped him. Wait, you spoke out. He turned around as he raised an eyebrow. Can you stay here for a moment until I fall asleep? Probably. Hold on, that probably sounds childish, he mumbled. No, it's fine, Genya replied. He was willing to be together with you alone. Sorry, I just don't feel safe alone, you spoke out. There is no need to say sorry, Yin. Someone broke into your house, so I'm willing to be here so you can be comfortable and relax, Genya told you as he grabbed a chair and placed it next to you on the bunk bed. Thank you so much, you thanked him. You then stared at the bottom of the bunk bed. You were soon lost in your own thoughts. Is he the reason why? Oh, Yeah. Is he the reason why my underwear has been missing? Is he a pervert? How long has he been doing this? Has he been everything? Why would he target me? It's like he's a fucking stalker. The last sentence left a shiver down your spine. You soon felt warmth at your hand. You flinched to see it was Genya's hand. He seemed to be comforting you in his own way. You then inhaled and exhaled to calm your nerves. I really can't thank you enough, Genya. You told him. Genya didn't have any problems with it. It was a win-win situation for him. Time skip. Ian, a familiar voice spoke out. You flinched as he turned around and let out a sigh of relief. It was Bob. Oh, Bob, hello. You spoke out as you gave him a weak smile. Is there anything wrong? He asks. He let out a sigh. Well, someone broke into my house, but I'm fine. I'm moving to a new apartment. I'm also just crashing at San and Genya's place. He let out a deep chuckle. Bob opened his mouth to say something, but was cut off by a student calling for him. Yin, what do we do here? The student spoke out. Well, sorry, Bob. I need to go, you told him. Bob watched you as you left. You were quite busy since tomorrow was a Halloween event, and almost everyone was preparing for it, but there was something he couldn't brush off. He felt a number of people glare at him when he only talked to you. As soon as you finished helping that student, you headed outside and went straight to the garden to get some fresh air. You didn't feel like doing anything or working on anything. As soon as you arrived, though, your eyes widened as soon as you saw Tanjiro on a bench crying. Tanjiro? You spoke out. He let out a gasp and looked at you. Ian, he mumbled. He got up and walked up to you. He spoke out and cried even more. You were curious as to why he was crying about. You hadn't even told him about what happened last night. Tanjiro, hey, breathe, okay? You told him. You inhaled and exhaled. He followed your instructions. He soon calmed down. Thank you, Yin. He spoke out as he wiped away his tears. Did something happen? You asked. Well, one of my friends, ex-friends, did something horrible to me, so he sniffed. You looked at him with empathy eyes. I'm just upset. They were the person I thought they were, Tanjiro mumbled. You didn't ask what his ex-friend did to him, as you thought he might have been uncomfortable with the topic. You, he spoke out as he walked closer to you. He held your hand as he walked closer and closer to you. He soon let your hand go and buried his fingers against your hair. You won't be like them, right? I can trust you, right? Tanjiro asked as his voice cracked. You can. Always trust me, Tanjiro. You can always come to me. You reassured him, and you hugged him. He held you tighter as he cried on your shoulder. Really? He mumbled. Really, you replied. Then will you not leave me? Will you not leave me ever? He asked. I wouldn't leave you, Tanjiro, you told him. Then you'll stay with me, right? Forever? He asks. I will stay with you forever, Tanjiro, you told him. It was a lie, as you knew you'd have to eventually going to leave the game. This white lie, though, made Tanjiro very, very happy. You were probably scared and wondering, how can he lie and act so good? Tanjiro wasn't acting when he cried, though. He was sad and upset, but not for that reason, because you had caught him, and that he was scared you resent him. But it seems you didn't, because it was too dark, and that he had worn a mask and beanie. He also wasn't lying when an ex-friend of his did something horrible to him. That horrible thing was to slaughter you. Obviously, Tanjiro murdered him. Why wouldn't he? But oh, Yin, your empathy may lead you to your doom. This was his way to tighten his grip on you, as he had made a mistake. A way to make sure you unconditionally knew your place. And it was the being with him. As you comforted Tanjiro, you didn't notice a smirk from his lips. Time skip. Bob soon let out a small sigh as he did his homework on his work desk. He soon glanced at his clock. 9:57 p.m. He scratched his head as he didn't focus on his homework. He focused was on you. And the fact that the boys you're acquaintance with always glare at him. His thoughts were cut off by his grandfather coming inside his room. Bob, oh, you're doing your homework, huh? Well, your grandmother baked your favorite apple pie. You should get a slice. I will, Bob replied. His grandfather stared at him before saying something. Look, I know that you two argued and fought, but it's been a week. The two of you should talk and apologize. She told you insensitive things. You also told her insensitive things. His grandfather spoke out, his accent disappearing. I know, Grandpa. I just don't know how to face Grandma yet. I told her I would rather run away than stay with her. Bob looks down. I know, kid. His grandfather patted his head. His grandfather was about to leave, but then he stopped in his tracks. So, I know your thing about that girl. Who knows? Maybe in an alternate universe you two would have been together. His grandfather let out a small chuckle. I wish, Bob mumbled as he let out a small snicker. Look, my point or offer still stands. The two of you should talk and make up. I can't even cuddle my wife, boy, because she's thinking of you. His grandfather joked. Bob let out a laugh. I'll talk to her tomorrow, Grandpa. Don't worry. He reassured his grandfather. His grandfather nodded his head and then soon left. Now, he was all alone with a question on his head. Why do they always glare at him when he talks to you? He had a bad feeling about it. Someone broke into her home, and people keep guard. Bob let out a gasp as he slams his hands on his table. She's in danger, Bob spoke out as he rushed out of his room. Before he let out a gasp, his phone called you. He grabbed his phone and called you. As soon as he was at the door, his grandmother noticed him. Bob, she spoke out. Bob didn't say a thing, as he focused more on telling that you could be in potential danger. As soon as he left his home, he didn't hear the cries of his grandmother. Bob, Bob, she shouted as tears rolled down her cheeks. Is he really running away? She thought, as Bob was running to your apartment. He went on his phone and looked for your number. As soon as he found it, he dialed your number. Please, please, please pick up. Bob mumbled. Hey, if you got this voice message, it means I don't want to talk to you. My phone is dead, or I'm sleeping, so leave a voicemail or mail, I guess. Bob hissed as he received a voicemail, but he quickly realized something. He stopped his tracks. I don't know where she lives, he mumbled. He soon went to his phone and sent you a message. Yen, please meet me tomorrow or call me back. I have something important to tell you. He sent this message, but then, at the corner of his eye, he sees his grandmother's number. He hesitates before clicking it, and soon, typing a message. Grandma, I'm sorry. I have an emergency I needed to get to. I'm not running away. I'm sorry for saying that. I'd rather run away than stay with you. I want to stay with you. You're the greatest grandma ever, and I'll tell you in person. I'm coming back home right now. I love you. It reads. He was about to send it, but then his head gets a hit with something hard. He quickly falls to the ground. He was about to get up, but the person whacked his back with a bat. He couldn't see the person's face. As he was facing the ground. Stop! He shrieked as he let out grunts and groans of pain. The person never stopped and continued to hit his back with what he assumed was a metal bat. Bob soon started to spew out some blood, and small tears rolled down his cheeks. The person had already broken his spine. What more could they do? Bob knew that this person was trying to kill him. He could tell from how the way the person hit his back with so much force. Before he could lose conscious, he managed to spew out a thought. I'm an alternate universe. I would have been able to protect you. And Before he could even finish, the person whacked his head, knocking him out unconscious. The person paused before doing anything. The person let out a sinister laugh, as they had realized that Bob was unconscious. The person soon whacked Bob's head, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. The person wouldn't stop, even if he was bleeding. The person wouldn't stop, even if his head was already smashed into pieces. The person wouldn't stop, even if he was already dead. The person stopped when parts of his head were scattered across the dark street. As soon as he was finished, he started to get ready for the cleaning process. Meanwhile, a tear rolled down Bob's grandmother's eye as she held on to his favorite dessert, apple pie. It's all right, the kid will be back, his grandfather reassured his wife. I'm just so worried for him, she sobbed. The two of them had been waiting for 4 hours. Bob, where could you be? Please, come home, she added. I'll always be waiting, she thought as she stared at the door, waiting for it to open to reveal her beloved grandson was back home and safe.